You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time.
She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Right, okay, so even she kind of suspected Emma then? Which means, oh my god, what if it was Gant who wrote Emma on the thing? Gant was framing Emma? If Gant was the one who... If we're really crazy, because now if we're tying Gant to the scene with the piece of piece of pottery, in his safe, then could he have been the killer, and could he have done the same framing thing that happened in case number 2 with the Maya written in blood? Oh! And I even called out how this was a throwback to that case earlier, but I was saying, like, well, this time it's the actual murderer's name who's written in blood and not a forgery, and it actually might be a forgery! This is mind-blowing. I'm so impressed. I'm so excited. Well, let's get on, shall we? Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Let's go through the presses first, and then I'll try to figure out where I throw down my evidence. You nudged the blood traces on the jar. So the jar was already broken? It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case. Ouch. Come on, Judge. We're doing real good here. But not as feeble as the judge's judgment. Oof, that's some good judge shade right there. Some JJ. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case.
Lana, you do that for me?
It seems you two might make up yet. On the way to the electric chair. Let's hope it doesn't end up like that. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. Okay, yeah, I see now. I totally believe her now. She really didn't think that it said Emma. She didn't see it. Because one of the pieces was missing, is my theory. So she couldn't work out what it said. Yeah. But it still looked bad for Emma, I'm sure, so that's why she instinctively knew. She instinctively knew to, like, do this. Cover up. Yeah. I get it. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. Fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Do we just put down the same jar again? I don't want to get fooled by, I did that mistake once where I was like, we mustn't, surely the game's not going to expect me to use the same evidence twice. But this seems like a case. But first, let's of course press. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Now remember, everyone, this is the DS version, so this is 2005. So, you know, phones did not have lights on them. I mean, honestly, not even the illumination of the screen would have been, on phones of the day, would have been good enough to provide, like, illumination anywhere else. So, yeah. This is, of course, a little weirder in this day and age. In the setting of this game. It's a little weird for her to have those things, although I guess being a detective is why she has those. It's not like today where it's obvious that you'd have a light on you and a camera on you because you have a phone. Although, truth be told, my camera is terrible on my phone, and I've kind of scuffed the lens, so it takes even worse, kind of weird, kind of fuzzy pictures. So, like, if like I were to spot Bigfoot and I try to snap a picture with my photo with my camera, the photo would be exactly as blurry as all those Bigfoot pictures, and I would get people being like, well, why didn't you take a proper photo? Everyone has a camera these days. But in my case, because I'm such a Luddite, I actually, yeah, I would totally screw up taking a picture of Bigfoot. The light's pretty good on my phone. I'm happy with that. It provides nice illumination.
Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go.
That's good, Emma. I love that. Good attitude. I never miss anything. I've got every last piece. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Let's press on this as well, but clearly we need to drop some truth bombs on that statement about every piece was caught. Because I think I'm right with the idea that one piece... It's so much clearer, the blood on it, you know? Like actual proper shapes rather than splotches. Yeah.
So you illegally rearranged the crime scene?
Yes. I don't have any excuse for my actions.
I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I've finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Yeah, and I've called it out. Sorry for everyone who wanted the drama of the last-minute reveal. I had to, be like, check it out, I figured it out. I think I just put the jar down again. I think that's the right cue, right? Eat the jar, please. Also, oh my god, we have to remember this evidence law. Which... Rules. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. But this jar's fine. We've already used it so many times. It's all good. Yeah! Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it! She really didn't know! There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was... still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene.
Chief Gant got there before you!
But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you believe that? That's really funny. He's trying to cover for Gant again, but I don't know, him rambling about his dentures. That's really funny. I dig that. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that... There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar?
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
Oh my god, this is like, you know, healing for the soul here at the end of the game, that someone's actually calling out the judge on his his goofiness. Amazing. Someone grilling the judge. No! Oh, it's really funny. Taking the judge for a spin. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at this crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence.
But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Oh, poor judge, he's so rattled. The judge got the same treatment as all the witnesses. That's really funny. I really dig that. Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet. Yeah. It comes out. Oh, that looked bad. Don't bite that hard, Lana. Come on now. That looked nasty. Yikes.
No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't! It wasn't you, Emma! You didn't kill anyone! Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says! Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. What? Ugh. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. He's dimming out. That's usually a sign of a big breakthrough. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana may be right after all. Huh? What do you mean, Wright?
So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
Oh wow, Phoenix isn't even going to... He's too in the zone now. He's not going to even bother to answer that. Miss Skye, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back,
then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
Oh, yeah, this is incredible. That the game manages at this, like, 11th hour to still, like, blow my mind with these twists. Good stuff.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore.
Huh?
This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. All right. The witness may testify once more for the final time. Oh boy. So what is the actual crime scene? When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Aha, okay, so now we can cross off the whole trophy dagger in the back thing. Okay, good to know. Emma and Doc were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armor's sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. Huh? I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. Wow, what the heck? Was Lana actually thinking after all that she would help us out? What game is she playing? I'm confused here. Also, is the picture in the book? Because I don't remember, yeah.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Yeah, that's what I'm shocked now, is like she was cooperating with us in a really roundabout way. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture.
I don't resemble...
Let me take a drink real quick before I continue. Yum. Yeah. Oh god, that was too big of a drink. Wait.
I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
The evidence law? This is the only thing we've gotten from her, right? Everything else is... Yeah. I don't get it. Oh! Well. See, previously it just opened up the thing, right? But now... It opened up the text, you know, to read about it. But now we can check it out. I love this book cover, by the way. Look at this cute little chick here. Detective little birdie. Aw. Pio! Is Pio the sound that like a little chick makes in... They're called chicks, right? I'm completely blacking out. What is a baby chicken? A chick, right? I'm such an idiot. But yeah, is Pio what the sound they make in Japan? The Japanese onomatopoeia for a chirping little baby chicken? No. Anyway, what's over here? Yes, this seems pretty important, yeah.
Hey, there's a picture here.
Yep, that's some kind of, yeah.
Oh. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene.
No other detective saw the crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Yikes.
Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Could that be
The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. Oh, good call. Good call. I didn't even realize. Look at this. We have another track of evidence. Good lord. Yeah. I see. Right there is a big chunk missing from his vest. What's this?
This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whosever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
Oh no. What? But those fingerprints.
They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Good lord, we're actually getting close to the end of episode time, once again, if like we were going to do a regular length episode, but I'm not sure how close we still are to the end. This is crazy how in-depth this all is. Let's see now. But let's at least do all of this. What the? Oh, that's a great fake out. Wow. That was really cool. I was all like, did I accidentally misclick something? But here we go then. That was really smart.
Come now, Aji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Gant.
What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense.
Objection! I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. Yeah, I remember this. It was good stuff when we called this out. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
So what? You think I'm worried?
Huh.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me.
Oh no, he knows about the cloth. He knows about the cloth with the handprint on it. Is this part of his trap as well?
Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't. But someone does.
Someone?
So, what's your excuse, Righto?
Huh?
Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright? Oh my god, now I'm like, can I play something else other than the cloth? Because I will want to do this. If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I'd better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall?
Oh, crap. Okay, here we go, though. Is there something else we could show that isn't this cloth? Oh my god, I'm so scared. Oh my goodness. I can't show this. I can't show this. Right? I mean, but on the other hand, we're supposed to go for the truth, right? We are supposed to uphold the truth as lawyers. But, like, here's, of course, since so much has been a setup, what if this is a setup as well? What if Gant took the unconscious Emma's hand and, like, maybe he cut off the piece and slapped it on Emma's hand, in which case it would be another forgery. Am I even allowed to put that evidence down? I don't know. We tried that one time previously and we got, like, reprimanded for it. Is it still allowed? Is it still checked out, this evidence? I don't know. Darn it. This is hard. And this is all stuff from, like, the Goodman killing, everything here. Except this, of course. Oh, this is so lame, but do you think I could go on the technicality that I can't? I can't because of evidence law? That's such a lame thing to do, but it would be a really cool turning of the tables. Oh no! But I can't figure out any other piece of evidence that would prove that Gant was the one who killed, or at least, you know, that Emma wasn't the one who killed Marshall. I can't figure out anything else. Do we... This is such a lame thing, but do I do this? Oh god!
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
What? You lie!
Chief Gant? Oh, right, yeah, okay. Wait a second, are we maybe... Let's see where this goes. This might actually work out, hold on.
You opened my safe! I know you took what was inside! The conclusive evidence!
I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you?
Damn it, I was hoping we were gonna work him into, like, accidentally spilling something. But of course, we did already know that we tampered with his safe, so... That wasn't a new revelation. That was like, oh, wait a second, but damn it, he didn't walk into anything yet. He didn't walk into any landmines yet. Darn. For a second, I thought I got the right answer here, but I don't know, I'm a little scared. My only grace is that the health thing wasn't blinking in the top right, so maybe we will get another chance, but I don't know what evidence to put down. I don't know! God! Except, of course, the one that shows that Emma was the killer, which is, at this moment in time, is actually a bad move. Oh, no.
You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this? In your safe?
What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Good, good. We're actually putting the burn on him instead, rather than us. Right, good. Because, of course, yeah, I guess we could be like, yeah. We could be like, yeah, this is the evidence that Emma killed Goodman. Emma killed Marshall. Why were you concealing this for 2 years? That's how we could spin this, honestly. But it will still put Emma in trouble. That's the scary part. Oh, no. I don't know what to do! This really is the toughest of the trials in this game, and for good reason. I'm like sweating.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto.
Huh?
Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What? You mean you admit to it?
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her?
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Sky?
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted.
When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe?
But why?
For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name.
I don't know, there's a big letter A left over there, so, like, I don't know.
I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar, too? Thank you, Edgeworth. That's what we figured out earlier today. By the way, we're really over time here, I know, but, like, I'm kind of hooked now. I'm really, really freaking hooked here. Let's at least see if, like, I don't know, see where this goes.
Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant? That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe?
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Yeah, we've already gotten him admitting crimes being done, but how do we pin the, at least Goodman's murder on him?
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late.
Oh no, I'm so unsure if I screwed up earlier or not.
It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine.
Oh no! Oh no! Would the game do a double cannot show thing? Because now the thing is blinking on the top right. Now I am a little sweaty. Oh god. Oh no. As long as I don't mess up. I can't do it. The pressure's too much. Ah! I don't know what I'm doing. But I guess I'll try.
Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
All right then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
God damn it. What is this gonna do?
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest.
Oh, yes! At last you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean...
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy.
What?
Think about it. Rido had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted.
God damn it, Phoenix is like way more, confident about this than I am. I feel like I'm dying.
The person whom these fingerprints belong to is...
Like, that's who it is. They can't... How could they be Gantz? Oh no, I do not see how I could say they're Gantz, so I don't know.
Emma? Emma Sky?
What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Did I just get a game over? I think I did. Oh no.
You're really something, Rido. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky?
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
Oh, shit.
What? I said this trial isn't over yet.
Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy! Not only this trial, but your career too! You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy! What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
The freaking Columbo line! That's like so close to this.
There's just one thing that doesn't add up, you know. Just one thing that's been bothering me. Oh, just one more thing.
Oh my god. This is perfection.
No? What's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
What?
Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Emma Skye, wasn't it?
I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? I'm unclear what that is.
What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
What? This glove? Maybe? I don't know. I don't understand. Well, we've got 5 shots at this, or how many shots do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 shots before we lose if we get a minus for everyone, but huh? Is it the photo itself? I was wondering, but I'm not sure. You know, look, there's blood on the shirt underneath where the cloth has been cut. But it could have spilled from his mouth even while the cloth was still on top, like dribbled underneath. No, wait a second, because there's blood. Oh no! There's no blood on the piece, but if you look at how the blood spread on his vest, there should have been blood. Oh, I think this is the answer. Is it? Is it? Is it? I was about to say the rubber glove. You know, at first it was going to be the rubber glove, like, Emma was wearing gloves. But that's stupid. That's not going to work. What is the purpose of that glove? We still haven't figured that out, have we? I don't remember what the gloves had to do. Maybe it was what Gant and Lana wore to move the evidence around so their fingerprints wouldn't be all over everything. That would probably explain it, I guess. But yeah, no, maybe I'm onto it with this picture. Let's see.
And what exactly is this supposed to be?
This is the picture Miss Skye took. Take a good look at it.
Oh my god, it is the correct answer because this dialogue sounds promising, but not only that, I just realized this is a picture that Skye took, so Lana took. So in a way, it's so poetic that this evidence from Lana is gonna bring Gant down here at the end. That's so beautiful. I could shed a tear.
See where the piece of his vest was cut out?
Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though.
Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured.
Blood poured out of his mouth.
Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it.
Ah!
Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time.
The music's back, the music's back. No! This is nonsense!
Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out.
If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Ms. Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword?
Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue and make Lana believe her sister did it.
Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. It's finally all over.
Oh no, look at him. Oh, those sad puppy eyes. We're gonna take him down. That was close, Rhino! You almost had me! Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence!
No! Is he gonna get me on it?
No! Order! Order! What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict the suspect. Remember, Aji? Earlier, old Rhino here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Rhino? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence!
But that's not fair!
Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Oh my god, Edgeworth. Now I feel so safe with Edgeworth propping in with that like there.
Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
Oh, we had a plan going all this time? I wasn't privy to it. I've been seat of my pantsing this whole bullshit right now.
Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
Are we going to be able to shove the evidence law book in his face, do you think? Is that going to be our excuse? Can we do it? I'm trying to figure out what the purpose of this damn book is, so is this the chance? Oh no! Go big or go home. In that case, does it mean actually admitting to crime, or is go big and go home to actually just refute what's so obvious? Let's try to be upstanding. Come on. I admit I refused to present it at one point.
Aha! So the evidence is illegal!
No, it isn't, Mr. Gant.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Aji! Don't listen to his lies! He's nothing but a coward! You can't really believe...
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now.
We are gonna use the technicality! Oh my god, is that true?
This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law.
Oh, this is so smart, because we screwed up once previously with the cloth. Remember, early in this trial day, trying to present that cloth, and we got reprimanded precisely because of this. That was so smart of the developers, because they actually primed you to be careful, specifically with that cloth. Oh, genius! I love it.
What's this?
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more.
What?
You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law.
Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented?
That was shown only a few moments ago.
No.
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant.
You yourself confessed to a certain truth.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest.
Oh, yes.
That's really good.
No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the Chief of Police, personally approved this cloth.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant. The killer was you!
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum! For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, Yet he insisted on hounding me!
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman.
Detective Goodman?
Yeah, that's right.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've gotta help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm gonna hand all this over to the Marshal." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife.
Wow, the cover-up just kept on cover-upping. Wow.
I couldn't just pull it out.
Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake.
The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car?
I'm sorry. I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will.
Leaving the prosecution's car aside, How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker?
I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take.
So, you left the jar fragments and the glove.
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer.
That's one way to put it, I guess.
They all did their best to get in my way. I've gotta hand it to them. They do their jobs well. Much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone.
Wow, that's some dark, we're not so different, you and I stuff right there.
Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Aji.
Oh, it wasn't like,
Oh, Aji. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, David Gant.
I knew you as you used to be, long ago. You were once a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, Aji. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Righto here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning!
There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence, up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble.
My, what high standards you have for a rookie.
Huh?
I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Aww. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Sky.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh. You've suffered every bit as much as I have these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Oh my god, freaking Tsundere Edgeworth right here. Oh, he's so adorable.
Liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it! I only did my job!
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor?
You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Not to mention, just the relief that Emma wasn't a killer obviously must be so much off of her chest, you know? That's really cool. She never smiled before once, you know? Except, I guess, in that photo we had, you know? Can we still look at it? Yeah. Oh, well, even in this she's looking pretty serious, actually. Never mind, yeah, so... Wow. Finally some peace of mind for her. Like, I can totally see she's fine facing up for her crimes of, forgery. With all of this off of her shoulders, you know? Really cool.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. Woo! That is all. This court is adjourned.
Whew, what a relief. I really felt like I was gonna die there in that final squeezing of Gant.
At long last, it's finally over. Emma. Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended?
I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. How owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright? And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well.
You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Oh my god, this is the third time this gag has happened, and it's still just as like, oof.
Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around while on duty? And to top it off, you called me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Oh shit, let's go.
Lana!
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know.
Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology.
It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess.
Sis!
I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. Now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew.
But sis, you were only doing it for me.
No.
Huh?
I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you.
Sis.
I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry.
But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now.
You're happy?
Of course! You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have.
Oh, Emma. Emma.
Yes!
No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least that's what I felt, watching the two sisters make up.
I got a bit twangy there, a bit Lana twang there, sorry, my apologies. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe.
Me?
Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Oh, shit.
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here. He's so scowly.
Where was he hiding?
I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right. Well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. Hmm? We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me.
Huh?
No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Oh no, but Phoenix just said, oh no!
Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right.
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone.
I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now.
But Edgeworth...
Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. Oh. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
Oh no, this thing, I bungled this. Oh no.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own.
I don't know. Is it the trophy? Is it the trophy? Because he told us the story about the thing missing from the trophy. Could that be it? That seems like, from a story perspective, that seems right. I'm gonna go with that. And also, he hated that thing, Edgeworth, so it'd be nice if, like, in the end it came around. From a story perspective, this seems like the best one. I'm going with this. That might mean something to you, but I don't see how it had anything to do with our partnership. Huh? Mr. Wright? It seems you still have a lot to learn as well.
I guess that wasn't the right piece of evidence.
God damn it, I thought I had a smart idea. Damn it! Ugh. I screwed up the Mia one, and now the Maya one, and now I screwed up this one too. It's time for me to go. No, now Maya left and now Edgeworth left. I'm so terrible. Why do I suck at these moments?
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. So what the hell could have been the right answer then? I was thinking this dumb screwdriver, but like... that seems dumb. I don't really know if that's the right one. I'm really bothered now. What the else? Because the trophy seemed so perfect, you know? So, like, what the hell else could it be? God damn it. Ugh. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you.
I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright? But what I face now is my problem.
Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court.
That could be misinterpreted wrong, that line. That's really dire. Farewell.
I'd better be going too.
Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon.
It seems we both have a lot to learn, and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation! Wow! That's so great. Congrats, Emma.
Scientific investigation?
It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well.
Thanks, sis. I will.
And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. Oh, look at all these characters. Wow. A journey to rediscover myself.
Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal.
That's amazing. He even interrupts this scene. I love it.
Huh? What is it, Detective?
There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh?
Way to go, Detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see,
he's gonna beg us for money, isn't he?
Mr. Wright here's the one who'll be footing the bill.
Huh? Huh?
What? You think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys, let's go.
That's how it ends? Oh, that's really funny. Objection on the end. Shit. Well, wasn't that fantastic, everybody? I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Cool. Well, now we get to the really hard part, which is me trying to review this game, because this game has really, dominated my headspace for pretty much the whole time I've recorded this series.
Yikes! I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily.
No, these little character vignettes. I guess I gotta slow down on my review until we're sure we're done with all of these, but yeah, like, how do I explain? All I can say is this was a part of my life I didn't know was missing from it for, like, what, 20 years now is how old the game is, basically? Oh boy, I was way overdue on playing Phoenix Wright, wasn't I?
My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir! Then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe.
Yeah, this was so impressive. Even though I kind of knew what Ace Attorney games are like. You know, I said I'd seen Avian Attorney being played once, so I kind of knew what the gameplay loop was, but still. Oh, look at this fella. Staring at us. Still, like, the quality of the writing was so top-notch. It managed a really good, like, that Japanese balance of humor and... Oh, humor. Yes. Timing, man. Funny humor and just, like, real proper pathos and, like, stakes and, like... It knew when to be serious at serious moments, but then it could always just be playful and... Oh, here we go. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this onto me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her or something. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? I missed what it says there that I gave Bambina. Are they talking to Phoenix or the player? It's a little ambiguous there, but I like it. Yeah.
Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Right Way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller this time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards.
Nice. Okay, yeah, let's talk about Ben Judd. Props to you, sir. And everyone else, Brandon Gay, Kaori Funakoshi. Well, you guys did some crazy work here.
I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Leff? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go.
Top-notch writing here. Really engaging. The plots were really smart. And like... This ties with the gameplay a lot. I'm kind of reviewing gameplay and writing at the same time because it's such a, story-based game, it comes together.
Ah, nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium.
Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin.
Coming! Well, see you around, Nick.
Ooh, it's been so long since I did the Maya voice, I had almost kind of forgotten how I did it. I probably did it a little differently from early in the game, but so it goes. The plots were all really engaging and they had really good twists. These guys had done their homework on, good, murder mysteries, even with the couple of murders where we knew the killer. Just the, twists and turns. Well thought out, indeed. Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? I brought you your tea. Huh? What's going on? This guy, I can't believe he showed up again as well. It's so crazy. And the characters were super compelling, so funny, but also, like I said, perfect blend of, lighthearted, but also you could take the story seriously.
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
Yay. What? It's a photo of the two of them. Come on, it's a photo of the two of them, right? Oh, that's so cool! Oh my god, this is such a cool picture! Wow! Hey! That's it, I guess. Got an Achievo for it as well, right from the ashes, so I guess we're done. Gosh darn it. Well, wasn't that a rollicking good time? Oh damn, we're just back here on the main screen. Alright then. Well, yes, now I can start reviewing in earnest now that we're done with all of those credits, which were lovely. Yeah, it was so compelling, obviously. The characters were so well thought out. The character work was insanely good, but the plot was well thought out as well. Such good twists and turns in all of the, like, crimes, and character... Like the whole story that they laid out throughout the cases was really smart, too. I guess from a character standpoint, I would say Phoenix does not do a lot of growing as a character in this game. I don't feel like. I guess he kind of has a character arc as he learns to be a better lawyer, but I don't know. It really is more of Edgeworth's story, right? Honestly, like his character arc is much more strong, you know, with a beginning, you know, challenges and a kind of a facing, a realization and growth as a person. Like Edgeworth is almost a hero of this story in some way, almost. It has shades of some of those Final Fantasies where it feels like the main character is just like a player stand-in and the real plot is about some other character in your party. Almost kind of same there. And honestly, that means it's not that much of a huge of a problem, but I guess I can call out that Phoenix feels a little underbaked, honestly. He just kind of feels like an author avatar. And honestly, on that front, I honestly also have to say, I still stand by that I'm not super crazy about Mia getting killed. I really wish you could have work out some kind of plot where Mia remained a part of the story more. I mean, part of me is like, this could have just been Mia Fey, Ace Attorney, you know. But like, but part of me also thinks you could have done something with like Mia is out of the picture, but like not dead. To like explain, I don't know, but I still can't shake that I wasn't a huge fan of that whole thing. I guess her showing up as a ghost still was pretty nice. Yeah, and I guess I'll say that's still the low point was how kind of like everything resolved itself way too easily in that second case. That's the low point of me for the story. Like it just felt like they kind of gave up and just solved everything in that final, like it felt like a bit of a, you know, and then when you read the list of like names and like Mr. Red White just like gives up after that, that felt way too handed to me. Unlike this that we played today, which felt like I had to fight tooth and nail. Good lord, that was something. So like, yeah, but just apart from that. And that almost makes me say that that's the weakest case out of the 5 in this. Because the first case is pretty bleh, but it's just like an introduction to the whole system, so like it serves its purpose. Whereas the second case actually like kind of left me, you know, frustrated at parts. So that, you know, kind of makes me say that that's the weakest one. That said, that's where we got Maya, of course. She was incredible. Like, this game would not have been as good as it was without, like, that sidekick there for Phoenix to play off of. So that was really smart again. Really smart. Really clever. And Edgeworth, of course, fantastic rival. Like I said, it was basically his story. at least as much as Phoenix is, you know. When it comes to gameplay and using all the items, again, most of the time it was very impressive. There wasn't like, you know, batshit insane adventure game logic for the most part. A couple of moments felt a little misleading, where I thought the game was misleading me and I kind of stretched out giving the right answer because of that. You remember probably those moments. But for the most part, it was like, it made sense internally, and you kind of like felt really smart figuring out things on your own, even though it wasn't like that hard often. Yes, it was. What am I talking about? I felt so out of my league at so many points here, especially when it came down to the wire and it was like, solve it now or the suspect dies, or, you know, is convicted and then dies. And I will still say, though, that this is a weird one, but it still bothers me as the worst logic. It's none of the moments where I was misled. It was that moment in the Steel Samurai case where, to prove that D. Vasquez had not eaten the steak, you had to point to the plate. You had to point to a plate that had like a bone remaining on it, and then point out that, well, her plate didn't have any bone left on it. That, to me, was super bad logic, and I completely lucked out on it by just word association using the other steak in that moment. If I hadn't rolled like a natural 20 at that moment, we would have been stuck there for a long time, and I probably would have gotten another game over, honestly. I think. Because it's stupid, like, you know, because a moment later, you know, Phoenix is like, well, there's an incinerator there. They probably threw the steak in there to get rid of it. They could have thrown the bone in there to get rid of it as well if they had eaten the steak, as had really happened. So I don't know. Maybe in the Japanese there's like something that translates better there. Like, it makes more sense. That's something they missed, maybe localized, that made it feel so illogical. But that remained in my mind as like the one kind of like moon logic of the game. Everything else, pretty consistent, if sometimes a little misleading in the dialogue implying what to use. All good. Outside of that, the gameplay, it's serviceable. A story like this, you know, a game like this, it's all about the story anyway, so the gameplay is very, like, kind of, you know, very kind of, like, secondary, but it served its purpose. What would I improve with it? I don't know. I really don't know. It worked just fine in its present state. Maybe like the UI you could brush up a little bit. It probably is in later installments, probably, I'm gonna guess. Well, I guess we can get to the graphics. Character designs are great. It's got a very unique look to it, a very unique art style that serves it incredibly well. There's some really great character designs here that I really adore. I'm so impressed with how cool Emma ended up being when she was like the last minute replacement Maya, but like I really, really, really felt for Emma in this story, and I liked her as a character, and, you know, all good stuff. I'm trying to think of if there's a character I didn't like. Larry was sometimes a little too obnoxious, even though that was kind of his role, but he was kind of funny still, you know, but sometimes he's just like, oh my god, Larry. Yeah. I guess I don't really know what else to say. It's really fantastic and really smart and super impressive, and I probably need to play more of these someday. Not anytime soon. Gotta take a break, as often, but I at least have 2 other ones to play right here. And, of course, they announced that the great Ace Attorney is coming to the West on PC as well. Hooray! That is the olden times Victorian-era spin-off that Shu Takumi has been making, which apparently is also very, very good. And I like that 19th century look, certainly, so I would be interested in that as well, but I feel like I need to at least play 2 and 3 before I jump into those, just in case there are like some sort of like references to anything, you know? I don't know. Okay, let's run down my favorites real quick and close it out, because this has gone on forever. A favorite protagonist. Oh my god, this question's so hard with so many great characters. Oh, but you know what the obvious answer is, even though he's technically the antagonist, but obviously it's Edgeworth. What am I talking about? Edgeworth is by far the best rounded character in this game, and all the hype around him is super deserved. Like, I was already, like, on the hype train before the game even started, because that was the only two characters I knew was Phoenix and Edgeworth, and admittedly I had seen Art of Maya in the past, so I kind of knew that that character was showing up. Wasn't sure if she'd be, like, a sidekick, but had some inkling of it. But yeah, Edgeworth, absolutely fantastic. So compelling. His character arc is the best. This ending here, I really hate that I bungled it up. What the hell evidence was I supposed to throw down then, if not the shield? The shield was such a smart move. I thought I reasoned that one very well. Oh well. I'm tempted to give best antagonist to Edgeworth as well, but goddammit, because he was technically both in this game, but, in the interest of widening it, like, I'm gonna give it to D. Vasquez. That was the best case where it felt really... I felt, like, really conflicted, Every other bad guy was a scumbag, and that worked. Like, I'm not saying that's a problem. That worked really well. But, the Steel Samurai case, by the way, that's my favorite case as well, despite the Moon logic. I like that it was a break from the main plot, just to give, like, a side story of, like, what kind of things Phoenix and Maya normally do. And it just was really fun. The characters were super funny, and I loved all the tokusatsu stuff going on in it. All around good stuff. And then the ending was so great. D. Vasquez was such an interesting, complicated villain. Especially when you realized how much of a heel Jack Hammer was also. Like, it wasn't a clear cut, she was an asshole and dealt with him. Like, there were layers, and there was, like, mutual, like, seething there, and resentment from both sides. And it was a really well done tragedy, that whole thing, in the end. It was super fun, but then it was a tragedy in the end. Wow. And, yeah. And its difficulty was, I think, perfect. The final two cases were giving me some serious heart palpitations, but the Steel Samurai case was still pretty okay. Manfred von Karma was an excellent villain as well, honestly. But again, he was just like what a magnificent asshole, magnificent bastard villain, which is great. He really did it, but the complexity of D. Vasquez kind of wins forward for me a little bit more. Yeah. The most hardest thing now, the funniest moment. I can't pin a single funny moment. I will say, given how, like, straight-laced Edgeworth was all the time, every time you got him to make that face usually was funny. Something funny was always going on about him. His meltdowns over various things were really, really, really funny. So, Edgeworth, again, I can't pin to a single moment. I'm sorry, there's too many funny things in this game, but it's Edgeworth still. I'm gonna give it to something that Edgeworth does. Absolutely earns the funniest moment. Probably it's a moment where he's going... But, yeah. That's my review. Thankfully, it wasn't too impossible for me to... But I'm sure I left a lot unsaid, because there's so much to digest here. This has so much headspace now in my head, this game, and I look forward to jumping into it someday again. But yeah, it's a commitment, this game, so... Well, the next game I'm planning to take this spot, which is nothing like this game, also is a commitment, but, let's say in a year or two from now, I might get the Ace Attorney itch again, and we will have freaking 2 more games to go through, and I've heard that they just keep getting better. Well, actually, I've heard this one's a little meh. This one's about kind of like... The next one is kind of like, but it's apparently still good. But apparently this one will freaking slay. This one's apparently so good. Everyone is just like, always when I read Ace Attorney fans, they're just like, this is the yardstick for everything else to try and match this. So, wow. That's gonna be a long, long way, because we gotta play this one next, of course. No, in a story-heavy game like this, no skipping things out of order for me, no siree, Bob. But thank you so much. This was so much fun, this series. I loved everything about it, really. Even when I was frustrated, I'm pretty okay with it in the end. And I hope you guys loved it as well, as much as I did. I hope you guys enjoy whatever else is coming on the channel in the future. But for now, Phoenix Wright is case closed.